What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleazebomb. Today's episode is going to be my smash starts, 8 players, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. And guys, if you missed the show last night, you have to see this call that I made. This is a 14-man, $500 league. This is not a cupcake. This is not a dynasty. This is not 3 wide receivers, 3 triple flex. This is a 2 wide receiver spot start call that I made last night. I'm starting Kendrick Bourne tonight, Drizzle. I got Calvin Ridley and I have problems. I just picked up Kendrick Bourne off the wire in a very expensive league and I'm starting him.
Guys, God bless you guys.
Born in the USA, baby. Let's go, Kendrick.
Born in the US. Okay. God bless you guys. I just scared the shit out of my neighbor.
I hope my Niners. That is why you like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Turn that bell on so you don't miss the spot start crazy calls like that, man. That is one for the books right there with Kendrick Bourne, man. Woo! Bang, bang, Niner gang to go with it. If you guys haven't checked out the Discord, make sure you do. It is pinned in the comments and the description of the video. Me and Big Draft Energy cover everything fantasy football, redraft, dynasty, trades, roster reviews. Helped out about 3 or 4 people with trades yesterday in there as well. I also dropped my pick'em ticket in there last night, man. Hit 3 of 4 and missed on the Joshua Carty kicker, which was painful. He missed the 50-yarder in the PAT. Cost me the 4 for 4 ticket. But if you guys haven't signed up on drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And then I'll be live here today also in about an hour and a half here or so going over some splash drafts. You guys want to hop in there as well, and we can chop up some fantasy football. And remember, these 8 smash starts, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Not going to be the elite superstar guys. These are mid-tier guys that I think with the matchup they have that you have to have in your life this week, guys. And let's take a look at it. Starting off with number 1 in the quarterback category is going to be my guy. All offseason long, I told you that Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson is going to be the best stack in fantasy football at value. And if he didn't miss that one game, man, he'd even have more points higher in the QB ranking. And Garrett Wilson got a whack PI call, touchdown callback. He could have had another touchdown last week. Now, this week, why do I like Justin Fields so much? Why do I have him in my top 4 quarterbacks? Why should you start him over pretty much almost everyone, but maybe Josh Allen and the 2 and 3 could be his battle either way to go with any of the top quarterbacks? You get the Dallas Cowboys defense. Guys, the Dallas Cowboys defense versus the quarterback, not only are they dead last, giving up 27 points a game, you've seen what Justin Fields can do on the ground as well. Listen to these numbers real quick, okay? So they've given up 1,237 yards to the quarterback. 1,237 passing. That is 130 more than the team that is in second. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is how bad this defense is. They've given up 10 passing touchdowns. That's dead last as well. And guys, they've given up 122 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns on the ground. This game has Justin Fields smash written all over it. Not a lot of quarterbacks I would start over him. If you want to check out my quarterback rankings, they're up there. You know, 2, 3, and 4 I talk about are all really close. And then you got to look at Philly. They gave up 300 yards. Giants, 500 yards total. Chicago, 400 yards total. Green Bay, 459 yards total. Dude, get ready for the Justin Fields absolute 20, 25, 30-plus point game here with ease this week. Number 2, and this is the reason I told you to go pick him up on the waiver wire 2 weeks ago, Jackson Dart, the sickest name for a rookie quarterback you could literally have possible in NFL history with having Dart as a quarterback name. So last week, what happens? New York goes crazy. They pull Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart comes in and he beats the 3-0 LA Chargers, losing Malik Neighbors in that game. Put up 20 fantasy points. Obviously, the passing wasn't great with 111 yards, 13 completions on 20 pass attempts. But you're playing a top defense as well, and it's his first NFL start, and he took out the talk of the NFL. So that is enough for me to tell you right now that this guy is him. Now, you're going to get the New Orleans Saints. And why did I like Jackson Dart so much coming in? Because look at the stat you see right there on the screen. 12 rushing attempts for 54 yards and a TD. This is going to be such a smash play for him. And it may be an even game script here too. It may be, both these teams very bad, missing. Malik Neighbors is going to make the Giants worse for me. You'll see Darius Slayton and Wando Robinson be out there and Theo Johnson maybe get involved more. And maybe we see Jalen Hyatt, the rookie speedster, tall guy, go out there and get a bomb here in this game. But the Saints give up, guys, 21 points to the quarterback position. That is 5th worst in the NFL. 884 yards, 9 passing TDs, 91 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. I expect Jackson Dart to run in another touchdown here. I'm taking the Giants to win this game. And I expect Jackson Dart to go over 20-plus points in this game. Number 3, heading over to the running back side, and this comes with a major injury to Chuba. Well, not major injury, but Chuba Hubbard is ruled out for the week. They're saying day-to-day still. So, I mean, obviously, I think it's week-to-week they should update it as. But Rico Dowdle is going to get the start here, guys. And when you're getting the start versus the Miami Dolphins, you know that you're going to have to start every single running back versus them. I've been saying this all year long. Cowboys, Dolphins, Panthers, you start them all running backs versus them because their defense doesn't stop the run. And when I'm looking at this matchup here, Miami right now gives up 25 points a game to the running back position. Rico Dowdle is going to move into the top 15 running back. Obviously, I had Chuba in my rankings earlier, so I didn't know he's going to be out when I did the rankings on Monday. So Chuba instantly becomes a top 15 running back to me. And you've got to see what he did last year alone just for the Cowboys. So from week 13 on, yes, their schedule was a little more cupcake. He dropped 21 versus New York Giants, 16 versus the Bengals, 17 versus the Panthers, 12 versus Philly, 15 versus Washington. Philly also a good run D, and 20 versus Atlanta. This guy can get it done through the ground, on the air, in the air. Obviously, when you see these numbers here, he's not playing full time. This is limited snaps behind Chuba Hubbard, so I'm not even going to read off the stats that he has in the season, but there they are. And the Miami Dolphins run D here. So just listen to these, right? So I told you they give up 25 points. That ranks 26, so sixth worst in the NFL. 440 yards on the ground. That is bottom 3 in the NFL. That is 110 yards rushing allowed a game they give up. That is horrendous. They've given up 1 touchdown on the ground as well. But guys, they also have given up 212 yards through the air. That is the most in the NFL. So let's combine it together. So throw the 212, average that out at 50, 53 a pop, right? Add that to the 110 they add on the ground. That's 163 yards, on the dot they give up to the running back a game. Rico Dowdle is going to be a great play this week, and people are going to be afraid of it. I love him as a smash play this week, and he should not be out of your lineups versus Miami. Number 4 in the changing of the guard is here in Houston. Woody Marks is taking over the lead running back role from Nick Chubb. And you could tell just by looking at the snap shares through the weeks. So when you're looking at the season stats here, those are limited. You see the snap share at the bottom, 27.5%. But what we got to look at is how it went. So week 1, 11%. Week 2, 27%, going up 16. Week 3, 48%, going up 21. Week 4, 56%, going up 8. This guy has been improving touches, 3 to 3 to 6 to 17, receptions 1 to 2 to 5. He's getting more involved in the offense. He is the pass catching back as well for this offense. Nick Chubb is not. And now you get the Baltimore Ravens with just ruled out Lamar Jackson. So Cooper Rush is going to be the quarterback here. I almost said Cooper Kupp. And guys, Baltimore Ravens, man, what do they rank versus the running back right now in the season? Ding, 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 dead last. They give up 34.3 points per game to the running back. That is atrocious. And now you take Lamar Jackson out. Now you take their drives being longer out. I'm not going to say Cooper Rush isn't a bad backup. He can get the job done. He showed he can get some wins last year in Dallas as well. But when you think about the sustain of drives, like how long is it going to go? Are they going to pound King Henry the whole way? Are they going to have to pass here at some point? So, man, Woody Marks is going to get opportunities galore. The Baltimore Ravens, guys, 464 yards allowed on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns. That's 1.25 touchdowns per game, 201 yards through the air. So let's do another average out here so you guys can get the numbers here. So we take 460, divide that by 4. We're looking at about 116 yards, 201 yards through the air. That's adding 50 on it, so about 167 yards. They also allow 2 touchdowns in the air. That's 7 total touchdowns. That's almost 2 touchdowns a game for the running back. How can you not like Woody Marks this week? He is absolutely going to smash Baltimore and should not be out of your lineup. Heading over the wide receiver side, player number 5, wide receiver number 1, Chris Olave, one of my favorite targets this season. Why? Because I like volume in fantasy football. Yes, he hasn't turned it into the yards yet, but that is going to come to fruition. These numbers cannot sustainably be this low with the volume that he is getting. It's absolutely crazy right now. So it's also one of my favorite buy lows that I talked about in my buy low video. But you just got to look at these numbers. So targets, 43. Obviously, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams played already, so he would be number 2 if they hadn't played in their game, by the way, just to throw that out there. So Puka Nacua was ahead of him before the week. So 26 receptions, number 6 there. Also, Devontae Adams and Puka are over him, so it would have been higher. Receiving yards, that's the number that's got to come up. 185, I don't like that number, but it's going to come up. Receiving touchdowns, he finally got his first one last week, but here you go. Target share, 30.5%. This is what you want in fantasy football. This is elite wide receiver 1 usage. That's top 5 in the NFL. Snap share, top 15% at 88.7. That's wide receiver 1. Again, the points, this is going to change, right? So now we look at the matchup here versus the New York Giants and Jackson Dart this week. How bad are the Giants versus the wide receiver? Well, let me tell you, they give up 41.7 points to the wide receiver a game, guys. That is bad. Now, they've given up 60 receptions, 733 yards, 4 touchdowns to the wide receiver. That's a touchdown a game. 733 is second worst behind the Dallas Cowboys. So now you get the matchup here. This is going to be the Chris Olave smash game. You got to look at what he's done in Kellen Moore's system as well. They move him to the slot more. Then you saw Juwan Johnson playing like 50% with him in the first 3 weeks. Then last week you saw a 70-30 shift, little different look. Chris Olave getting utilized more. Oh my God, I'm buying, and there's no way I'm benching Chris Olave this week versus the New York Giants. Smash start number 6, wide receiver number 2, the rookie out of Arizona, Tet, the big boy McMillan is going to be a smash start as same as Rico Dowdle here as well. So I got 2 Panthers on here. That shows you right there how much I like to target the Miami Dolphins defense. Guys, their defense is missing 4 corners on IR injury. They've literally got Minkah Fitzpatrick out there by himself and no one else. This defense is absolute shambles. So he hasn't scored a touchdown on the season yet, but look at the volume here. 35 targets, and he was kind of hampered last week as well. You know, they said he was hampered. Still, he saw 8 targets, got it done in garbage time. It was very ugly versus Chris Gonzalez, but he's a top cornerback, and I said that was going to happen. I said temper your expectations versus him. Now, 18 receptions, 278 yards. So see right there, Chris Olave only had 180 yards. This is still mediocre for the targets he has. Chris Olave's numbers will go up as well. But 278, that's great to see right there. 0 touchdowns. He's going to find the end zone for the first time this week. Anytime touchdown for big boy Tet, lock it in. 24.5% target share. That's about low end wide receiver 1 usage. 89.1 snap share. That's wide receiver 1 usage. And he's also wide receiver number 33 with 45 points. Now, Miami Dolphins. We talked about the run game. Remember how bad they were versus the run, right? Well, versus the pass, they give up 27.6 points per game, 427 yards to the ground, 5 touchdowns. That's over a touchdown a game to the wide receiver. And they even have given up 24 yards rushing on the ground. I'm not saying that Tet's going to get in the end rounds, but this defense, guys, can be beat every single way. Running back, tight end, wide receiver. They're not going to stop anybody. And you got to think they also lost Tyreek Hill. They're getting Darren Waller in there, obviously, who I just put as a smash play this week because I love him versus Carolina. But that's going to, slow down their offense a bit, not having your superstar. They'll give you more opportunities for the Panthers as well. And Ted McMillan, guys, this is this is the breakout game. This is where tomorrow or Monday on Twitter, we are blowing up about Ted McMillan and how good this game was. Heading over the tight ends, player number 7 that you should be smashing into your lineup at the tight end position this week is going to be Dalton Kincaid. And I know if you guys have been subscribed or following my earlier videos with him, it's sketchy with his usage. I've been saying this the whole season long. He is not getting tight end 1 usage. Harold Fannin is playing 30% more a game on the field than Dalton Kincaid. And I like volume that leads to opportunity. Opportunity leads to points. But Dalton Kincaid is scoring touchdowns every single week right now. It's like the breakout in the red zone. He's Josh Allen's guy going to it. It's crazy. So here's what we have to look at, right? So currently tight end 4 overall right now, right? So think about this for a minute. He's got 51% snaps, 48% snaps, 55% snaps. And last week, guys, against New Orleans, he caught the touchdown at the end of the game. He only had 37% of snaps. The Bills' game scripts are going to have them favored more to lean towards the run more. This is a game against the New England Patriots. This is one of the highest implied point total games of the season, on the week, sorry, not the season, at 49.5. Is he going to see 60%, 70% snaps one time this season? If there is, this is probably one of the games. Because you're going to get Atlanta, then Carolina, then maybe he plays that at KC. Then you get Miami, Tampa Bay, Houston, Pitt. Like they're going to be favored in every game. He's not going to need to be out there that much at the rate the Bills are just moving the ball and dominating teams. But this week, I like him a ton this week because you play the New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots got the star corner that can stop your wide receivers. Keon Coleman's going to be in a little nightmare game. Where do they struggle? Versus the tight end, giving up 15 points a game to the tight end. 15. If you can get 15 from your tight end, that's what you want. That ranks them 25th. They're getting up 252 yards and 2 touchdowns to the tight end position. You have to like Dalton Kincaid in this game, and I like him for an anytime touchdown. He's got 3 out of 4. This matchup is great. He's probably going to have 4 out of 5 after this week. Last but not least, man, the waiver wire darling, because we talked about it, the situation with Tyreek Hill, man. He's out for the year. Malik Washington will step in for him. But you know that Darren Waller is going to man the Jonnu Smith role that in Mike McDaniel's system last year was tight end 4 overall, and he was a league winner down the stretch, and that was with Tyreek. Now we got to look at it without him. This is going to be a big play game here for Darren Waller. And you think about, he's 6'6", right? Who's the next tallest wide receiver they have? 6'2", Nick Westbrook-Akine. Waddle, 5'10". I think Taj Brooks, 5'9". I think Malik Washington's like 5'8". This is going to be the only threat they have that's a big body to go up and get a ball in the end zone. Now, last week, first game since 2023, been rapping on the side. Darren the Waller Baller rapper. But so he comes in the game, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 2 red zone looks, 2 touchdowns, 27 receiving yards. That is 16 snaps, guys. So if he put that target share is wrong on there, by the way. That's a bad graphic. I messed that up. So if he played 16 snaps and saw 4 targets, there's your math right there. He saw a 25% target share in his first game, put up 17.7 points in his first game. Now you get the Carolina Panthers, guys. They were worse than the Patriots that we just talked about with Dalton Kincaid. They give up 15.4, ranking 27th. That's 5th worst in the NFL. 285 yards. That's 3rd worst against the tight end yardage-wise. 2 touchdowns as well, guys. The only team to give up 3 touchdowns to the tight end is the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. So in other words, tied for second with touchdowns. This is going to be, you saw the update ramping up. He's going to see more work. He's ready to go. He was limited on Wednesday, and people get worried about a Q tag. I always tell you guys, wait till Friday. Everything will be fine. There's no way. I'm not saying that Darren Waller is not going to score again this week. The matchup is too good. And again, this is going to be the red zone Darren Waller show for the rest of the season here for the Miami Dolphins. Boom. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my 8 smash start players that you must have in your lineup. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything like that, drop it down below. I'll try to answer every single one of them. But when it comes to these guys, I'm going to say start these guys over most of the players, guys. So on your way out, help me out. Tap that thumbs up. Hit that subscription button. Turn that bell on. Again, I'll be live here in about 90 minutes. I'm going to do some splash draft on drafters.com. If you haven't checked out the Discord, check that out. It'll be pinned in the comments in the description of the video. And we'll be doing DFS splash drafts, looking into pick'ems on there as well today. So if you guys haven't signed up, use promo code SLEAZE. That's the sponsor. Helps me out a ton. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode, which will be my sleeper. I might do 5. I might do 8. We'll see how it goes. Sleeper video for players that deeper in your league that if you need with injuries and the buys that are here this week with 4 teams on a bye that you could possibly throw into your flex that I like matchup-wise, guys. That's it for me in this episode. Sleaze Bomb out. Thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you in the next one.